my entire staff, and I think we have the best synopsis, analysis of monumental Supreme Court decisions in the country, probably the world. Now, if I'm overstating it, bill@BillO'Reilly.com, bill@BillO'Reilly.com. I know we have millions of people watching and listening to us around the world, but where do you see what we have for you? All right, I'm going to stop bloviating about that and get right to the talking points memo. It is about the abortion decision, which returns the medical procedure abortion to the states to decide how it is implemented. That is a talking points memo. Now, let's start with the most radical reaction to the court's 5-4 decision. Go.
This court has lost legitimacy. They have burned whatever legitimacy they may still have had after their gun decision, after their voting decision, after their union decision. They just took the last of it and set a torch to it with the Roe versus Wade opinion. I believe we need to get some confidence back in our court, and that means we need more justices on the United States Supreme Court.
So she wants to blow up the court, and she now becomes the most radical senator in the country, surpassing Bernie Sanders. That woman has no respect for the Constitution whatsoever. She is only in business to impose a far-left progressive view on the country. Note the word impose. So she wants to turn the Supreme Court into a political body, whereby there'd be 24, 25. And of course, they'd all be political appointees, depending what president was nominating them. So that would destroy the concept of the 9, which has served this country well. So, to recap, Elizabeth Warren now the most radical left senator in the country. All right, the media was, of course, promoting the wickedness of the Supreme Court. Here's NBC's Chuck Todd.
What we know is abortion is likely to be banned in roughly half the states. And Justice Clarence Thomas suggested birth control, gay rights, and same-sex marriage could be next.
Oh, that is not true. That is a lie. But he doesn't care. He's doing what his NBC news masters want him to do. So he says, likely to be banned in roughly half the states. That would be 25 states. Do you know how many states right now are considering total bans of abortion? 3. They are South Dakota, Louisiana, and Kentucky. 3. And in those states, they're not likely to get a total ban of abortion. There will be a health component that we'll get to in a little while. So Todd basically throws this out to create hysteria from the misguided people who watch NBC News. If you're watching that vehicle, you're not watching for truthful news coverage. You're watching because you like the left-wing propaganda that agency spits out every day. Okay, number 3, Norah O'Donnell, CBS Evening News, on Friday interviews the executive director of Planned Parenthood, Kelly Robinson. Go.
The courts have failed this country. The courts have failed women and pregnant people all over this country. I have to remind you, there is no state in this country where banning abortion is popular.
Okay, so I don't mind Kelly Robinson being interviewed by Norah O'Donnell. But if you're going to do that, you have to bring in a pro-life person, to be fair. Did Norah O'Donnell do that? No. Not one pro-life guest on Friday evening CBS News. Not one. Now, they know that this is just disseminating Planned Parenthood propaganda. And again, it's okay for them to have Kelly Robinson, but then you have somebody else to balance. CBS don't want any balance. Okay. How about ABC News? They ran a clip, 15 seconds, with Carol Tobias, National Right to Life Committee president. 15 seconds. And then they had all kinds of outrage about the decision. So Muir gave 15 seconds to the pro-left. How about Lester Holt over at NBC Nightly News? Lester gave Ms. Tobias 30 seconds, twice as long as Muir did. So the fix is in. I mean, everybody, you got to know it by now. None of these agencies are ever going to tell you what the truth is or balance out opinion. Ever. It's all going to be left-wing progressive stuff. Let's get on to the most radical member in the House of Representatives. Go.
What the Supreme Court just did was that they chose to endanger the lives of all women and all birthing people in this country. But not only that, they've chosen to strip rights from men, too. Because, frankly, the right to our own bodies and the right to form our families, this is something that belongs to all of us.
To all birthing people. I guess that's women. I guess. I mean, this is just a caricature. But Miss Ocasio-Cortez wants to run against Schumer in New York for Senate. They'll keep an eye on that. But she's the most radical. I mean, there are a few others that are almost tied with her, but she's the highest profile. Okay, so the only agencies that ran any pro-life stuff were Fox News, OANN, and Newsmax. Here's Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina. Go.
Think about this. Fundamental to being an American is the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It all starts with life. So protecting life on the national level, we should all celebrate today, or yesterday, should I say, as a really powerful day. Every day should be a day of celebration of life.
Okay, isn't that a legitimate? Why didn't Norah O'Donnell put that on? You know, he's a sitting senator from South Carolina. On Fox News, Stacey Abrams showed up, all right? And she is a radical, leftist, progressive, running for governor in Georgia. And she supports abortion for any reason at any time. Go.
So I'm going to take that as up to 9 months in some cases, depending on the woman. Correct?
That is not what I said. I said this is a medical decision, and the medical decisions that have to be made in context. This is a specious approach to try to denude the entire argument.
Oh, what a bunch of BS. You guys in Georgia voting for her, I mean, again, there's no doubt. She supports abortion anytime for any reason. Now, this is a very important segment that I'm going to give you, and it's very brief because I got a good guest on this. In Germany, all right, abortion is illegal except with mandatory counseling in the first trimester. So even in the first trimester, if you want an abortion in Germany, you have to get counseling, and then it has to be a written report from the counselor. But after first trimester in Germany, unless the woman could die, no abortion. Italy, illegal after 90 days or 3 months. Spain, illegal after 14 weeks. France, illegal after 14 weeks. UK, illegal after 24 weeks. So America, Canada, China, and Russia have the most liberal abortion laws in the world. Okay, those 4 countries. It's insane. So when you're listening to all this hysteria from the progressive left in America, keep in mind, Germany, Italy, Spain, France, and the UK have far more restrictions on abortion than we do. Okay, Nancy Pelosi and Vice President Harris are in charge of using the abortion decision for political gain. Okay, they have been designated to try to turn this Biden debacle around by using abortion. First, Ms. Pelosi, go.
This is deadly serious, but we are not going to let this pass. A woman's right to choose reproductive freedom is on the ballot in November. We cannot allow them to take charge so that they can institute their goal, which is to criminalize reproductive freedom, to criminalize it.
Okay. By the way, the Archbishop of San Francisco, Salvatore Cordileone, was right to sanction that woman. How about Kamala Harris? Go.
Today, I invite all people to stand together in defense of one of the most fundamental ideals and principles that for generations, for centuries, I believe we had held dear, which is that fundamental principle about the importance of liberty. To stand for liberty, to stand for freedom, to stand for self-determination, and for the right to privacy.
Which, of course, does not exist in the Constitution. By the way, I get a lot of mail. Is this going to impact the November elections? I don't know. I don't think so. The economy is so harmful to working Americans. It's an important issue, but is that going to override people losing an enormous amount of money because of the Biden administration's incompetence? I would say no, but nobody can say for certain. But Pelosi and Harris are the 2 point people to keep this issue alive into November.